Hey everybody, Steve here again with a fun algebra problem. So the problem statement shown here, a grocer is selling one grade of the ground beef at $3.95 a pound and another grade at $4.20 a pound. He wants to mix these two together and come out with $4.15 per pound. So what percentage of each does he need? Okay, so first you got to set up the problem. And so this is obviously an algebra problem here. So we're going to define some variables here. So I'm defining them as x and y. You can define them as anything you want. So I'm going to call x as the percent of the $3.95 beef. But I'm going to use a decimal, okay? So x is going to be a decimal. So if it's 50%, I'm going to use 0.5. Y is going to be the percent of the $4.20 per pound beef, also expressed as a decimal, okay? So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Now I'm going to make two equations with two unknowns. So let's think about this. I want some percentage 395, right? So 395 times x, right? Plus some percentage of the 420 beef. So 4 plus 420 times y, and that's going to equal the 415 a pound. But that's this first equation, right? 395 times x plus 4.2 times y equals 415. But I need a second equation, right? I can't solve this one equation with two unknowns, right? So I need a second equation. What's that second equation? Well, we know that the total percent is 100%. So x plus y has to equal 100%. But again, since I'm using this as a decimal, I'm just going to use 1 instead of 100%. Okay, so I have two equations, two unknowns. Now, you can solve this a variety of ways. I'm going to choose substitution. And so for what I'm going to do for substitution is I'm going to take this second equation right here, write it in terms of y. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and I have y equals 1 minus x. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this value of y, substitute it right up here, and rewrite that equation as I'm showing here. Okay, so now I have one equation with one unknown. That unknown here, step 4, we're going to solve for x. Okay, so what I did here is I took this, first step is I distributed this out. So 4.2 times 1 is 4.2, and then 4.2 times minus x is minus 4.2x. And then what I did was collect terms. I put x's on the left side. So I have 3.95 and then minus 4.2. So I group the common things together, right? So all the x's I'm going to group together. And what I have is a minus 0.25x on the left. And what I'm going to do with the non-x terms, the constants, I'm going to put them on the right side. So I'm going to subtract 4.2 from this side. Whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right. So if I subtract 4.2 from here, I'm going to get minus 0.05. So here is my equation, and just use your calculator to solve that. It's going to be x equals 0.2. So again, remember, I'm using this expressed as a decimal. So to convert that into percentage, that would be 20%. Okay, now what we do is with this value of x, we can go right into this equation right here and substitute and solve directly for y. So I'm going to, again, put in the 0.2 here. 1 minus 0.2 is 0.8. As a decimal, make that as a percent, that's 80%. So basically, the mixture would be 20% of x, which is the $3.95 beef, and 80% of the $4.20 beef. Always good to check your answer. So what I recommend here, go back to this original equation, certainly the second equation, 20 plus 80 is 100, right? Check that, make sure that works. And now put in your x here as a decimal, 0.2, and your y here as 0.8. And I'll leave it to you to see, does this match $4.15? Big hint, yes, it does. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.